In this video, I'm going to be showing you why women inevitably do this on semen retention. The number one thing women inevitably do when you go on semen retention is they get near you. They undoubtedly get near you. There is this thing called a proximity flirt. Proximity flirt is when you're just in the area, but a woman positions herself near you to try to get your attention. This is what inevitably happens when you decide, when you physically increased your attraction. You have physically become more attractive as a man. And once you do this, you groomed yourself, you're doing all these different things to make yourself your physical avatar on the surface as physically as possible. More than likely, you are going to get more choosing signals, more proximity flirts, and you're going to be an overall more attractive guy. Now, if you couple this with no fap for a good amount of time, you're going to be in your most potent version in order for anything. In order to become your most masculine version. When you go on nofap and you're physically taking care of yourself and you're physically taking care of your grooming, things like this, you have transcended into your most potent version. And because you're your most potent version, you get attention, women and men. People may be more friendly to you. I've noticed this. There's this one time where I was pumping gas in the car, and there's this guy who I just saw side of my eye. He's driving in, and he's staring at me, and two, he's just laughing, or he's just smiling very, very easily. You can just tell that he's just smiling, and it's just very noticeable what he's doing. And so when I turn around, he just goes up and says hi to me and starts smiling hysterically. I don't know why, but you can come across that usually people just, if you become more attractive as a person, people are going to want to start conversations with you. They want to get near you. They want to see what you are about. This is what you have to notice when you've groomed yourself, when you're getting routine haircuts, when you're keeping up with your face, physically putting in work, increasing your income, going on nofap, abstaining from explicit material, becoming your most present version of yourself. Inevitably, you're going to get more attention. People are going to be nice to you. People are going to want to be near you, and this is how it's going to be. So this is what you have to realize. So number one is they get near you. Number two is they will ask you questions, and more than likely they're going to ask you more questions than you're asking them. This just shows interest. When she's asking you way more questions than you're asking her, this is a good sign. It means that she's actually interested in what you have to talk about. And this, you can take this and run with it. You have to realize that if she's asking you questions, a lot more questions, you have more of the leverage. You have a lot of the leverage. And now, quote unquote, leading the conversation in terms of the questions that she's asking. And now you're in a power dynamic. This is what you have to realize. So make sure you work on yourself enough where you become the most attractive version of yourself, so you can get attention from women and men alike. People will want to get close to you, speak to you, talk to you more often than not, ask you simple questions, laugh hysterically. Another thing is, number three is laughing hysterically. Inevitably, they're going to laugh, even if it's not that funny. You just come across as attractive to them, and this is what's going to happen. So they're going to get close to you, they're going to ask you a lot of questions, and you're going to be laughing at a lot of your jokes. They're going to. Number four is they're also trying to, I'm going to try to maybe bump into or touch you, something like that. This goes hand in hand with number one, of getting close to you. This is what you have to realize. Now, a lot of you guys may think that if you go on semen retention, all these things are going to happen, and that is just not the case. This only happens when you've worked on yourself physically to make yourself as physically attractive as possible. More than likely or not, people are going to want to get near you, get close to you, because you have worked on yourself so much. And this is usually what's happening. And when this happens, it's time for you to roll with it. It's time for you to roll with it. Appreciate people actually wanting to get near you. Be curious. Be just as curious as to them. They are going to like you a lot more because you're showing curiosity. You're showing like you're a likable person. And this is how you get a crowd to like you. This is how you get a crowd to follow you, by being a likable person. So the bottom line is, you get these characteristics when you go on retention. Inevitably, people are going to want to know more about you, want to find out about you, and this is just what comes with it when you worked on yourself to become your physically attractive self, and you're on nofap. If If you're fapping 24/7, your aura is dull. Your aura is dull, regardless of what you think or what anybody else thinks. Your aura just becomes dull. You don't have the glow. You don't have the shine that you thought you did. This is what you have to. This is the sacrifice you're making every time you decide to fap and to take one out. The glow that you actually had, it's not apparent. It is not apparent, and you may suffer from this. You might second guess yourself. You may think way too much, too hard about different things. You have to be in the flow of life. When you're on no fap, when you're working on yourself consistently, you are becoming in the flow of life, and this is why you become more attractive. So the bottom line is, go on retention. Women inevitably will become a lot more attracted to you. They're going to show you, they're going to get close to you, they're going to touch you, they're going to ask you a lot more questions, and they're going to laugh at a lot of the things that you're saying, even if it may have come across as not that funny. This is what you just have to realize. And the only way this really happens is if she likes what she sees on the outside. This is at the beginning. If she physically finds you attractive, more than likely than not, she's going to do a lot of things that quote unquote break the touch barriers. That's going to break the rules that are made. There's these general rules in dating, but all of that gets broken when she finds you attractive, when she really likes you. This is what you have to realize. There's a lot of guys who are saying a lot of different things, but the bottom line is nothing beats attraction. I was on this Reddit, to finish this video off, I was on this Reddit thread, and there was this woman who's complaining that all guys just wanted to have, didn't want anything really meaningful with her. They just wanted her for relations, or S3X. This is what she said, and she was complaining that all guys are like this. And what I would have said to this is that that's actually not the case. That's not true. Guys usually treat maybe women, and women treat men exactly how they see them, exactly how they see them. If they find her attractive enough to actually want more than just physical intimacy, then that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to strive for. So the bottom line is, it's not that guys just want her for physical intimacy. It's just that the guys that she's hanging out with they don't find her as attractive enough to actually do something more with her, to actually find her more interesting. This is what you have to realize. So if your results are that you're not getting the attraction that you want from women, then probably comes down to they just don't find you that attractive. So you have to work on physical attraction. You also have to work on verbal attraction, banter, charisma, all these different things, these high value characteristics that are bolted inside you to help you become your highest version of yourself. It takes work, but it becomes easier and natural the more you do this. The first step that you gotta do is just strike up a conversation with anybody that you see. Talking is gonna get more natural and easy for you. This is what you have to realize. You have to practice to actually make it work. So there's guys also talking about attention, attracting exes, all these different things. And the bottom line is that may happen, but you still have to the number one thing that you have to remember is to just work on yourself physically. And the best way to actually attract someone is to not care about attracting someone. That's how you actually get it. To leave it in a short sentence. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We will see you in the next one.